Hello, welcome to December 2nd, 2024. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is an exercise that I do every morning, a little bit after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use the time to think about the last 24 hours, how I did with the challenges and the opportunities that I met. I recite my creed, I prepare for the coming day, and I ready myself for death. All right, let's begin. Last night and yesterday, it was a Sunday yesterday, I spent most of the day sitting right here working on finishing a new book that I think I'm going to have ready to release before I get to Japan. So that's good. Maybe this week. I keep saying that, but I think it's going to happen. I think it's just about there. But when you're editing, when a book is done and you're editing, it's going through, it's always one more thing to look at, right? But it's very important that I get it done it's important to me to put this USA task aside before I go to Japan. I really don't want to bring unfinished business from my USA life, from this current experience of life here, to Japan. I want a fresh start there. So if I can get this book slided under the finish line, and I think I can, maybe tomorrow, if I work hard on it, I can do it. Rudy and I, he's sleeping right down there. You can see, there he is. He and I are headed to the vet in San Diego this morning for his pre-flight check-up. He's ready to get checked up for his flight to Japan. That's his crate that he's going to be flying in. So I've had him sleeping on the floor next to it. So he's been going in and hanging around and getting used to it. I did the same thing with Ollie before his flight too. All the paperwork is right here. And as soon as I'm done with this, I'll get up, I'll feed him. We'll go for a walk. And then we'll make the 2-hour drive down to San Diego to go to the vet. Our appointment is at 9. Any challenges or opportunities yesterday? It felt like there was something. There was, I got some pushback. That's not the right word. It sounds like it's hostile. I got, I have this, on the X community, X platform, I have a community called Gaijin Twitter, and associated with that community, which people can decide to join. I don't make anybody join that, but there's a list, and the X platform has the ability to you can create lists, and you can collect members on the X platform that you find are interesting. Like, for example, if I have, in my circle of people on X, if there's 3 or 4 or 5 people that are talking about Suzuki Jimny 4-wheel drives, well, instead of having to hunt around to find them, I can create my own list and add people that are talking about Suzuki Jimny to that list. I created a list called the Gaijin Twitter list, where I add anybody that kind of meets the rough categorization of what I would call a Gaijin Twitter, person. Basically someone who's either in Japan and tweeting about Japan, posting about Japan, or not in Japan like I am, and yet nevertheless posting about Japan. So, Japan interested people. I'll describe to you the description. You can see it right here. So here's the description of it. It says, Japan-minded content creators and friends remembering that we're all gaijin somewhere. That's all. And there's like 340 or something odd people in there, something like that I've added to. This is the one that I've added them in. They're not part of the community. They're just part of a list. And others can subscribe to that list and then see the posts that those people make. So yesterday I got the second, in all the time that I've had it, second of 2 pushback from someone saying, I don't want to be on your list. Remove me. And so I did. So I felt, the challenge was, I felt a wave of kind of guilt and embarrassment that the person, I had put them on the list, but they didn't want to be on the list. And I took care of it. So stopped. I reminded myself of my limits and opportunity, that I'm using a tool that is intended for the purpose of collecting together X content creators of similar interest, and people can just do that. They can ask to be removed. I think they might be able to remove themselves too. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. That's pretty much the only challenge I had yesterday. I guess the other challenge I have is right now I'm feeling anxious about little Rudy. This is the last piece of the puzzle. I've done it already with Ollie. It's pretty straightforward, but Rudy's a difficult dog. He's aggressive for a little Chihuahua, and I'm worried that he might kick up a fuss when I take him to the vet. I have some contingency plans for that. I've dealt with this before. Also, I guess there's a kind of a general anxiety, not anxiety, that's not the right word, anticipation rising. You know, I just 2 more days of work, and then then I'm cut free, and then that's all got to happen, and it all pretty much has happened. And just show up at the damn, I don't know why I shouldn't be nervous. You know, I have the rental car, the dog will have his checkup today, I've got the bank card at the ready to pay for it. It's expensive. Today's vet visit will be over $500. It's all ready to go. And then just coast. Really, I'm on a glide path now. As for my creed, the 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, and to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully. And one more, to keep my balance. Not swinging too far either way, in either mind or body. All right, am I ready for death? My affairs are in order, my relationships are sound, and my life's work is complete. Yeah. Wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.